12:02 on the oil stream, brought to you by Boston Pizza. And on Wednesday, it'll be brought to you at Boston Pizza. Capilano BP's on Wednesday. Make plans to swing on by. I'll be there for the lock shop starting at 11. Probably have a Belgian moon up in me by 11:15.
Yes, sir.
And then you'll be rolling in for Oil Stream at noon.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, so Nasties, make plans. It's been a little while since you got to see Tommy for a pre and post game. So you might as well come on by for some lunch at Boston Pizza and new menu items.
That's
apparently.
what I was going to say. Cody was pumping up the new, or teasing the new menu items. So I'm curious to try them. And we should, just out of principle, have and split properly a poutine.
So you're saying in addition to any trying of new items, you also want to split a poutine?
I think.
I mean, I'm here for it. I got time.
Okay, good. So do I.
I got time for that.
Yeah, okay.
I almost went to Boston Pizza in Vancouver on Saturday night.
It's very reliable.
Yeah.
That's the good thing about BP.
There's the one right next to BC Place, like almost attached.
Yes.
And when I went there, it was going to be like a 40-minute line. So we're like, let's just walk back to the hotel and we'll find something. But it's a busy place, Boston Pizza. Everybody loves it.
Because it is reliable and it's good. And
I also want to throw it out there to Cody if he's listening today. I'd get up on a smoked ham and cheese stromboli too. Just saying.
I think Cody could make something like that. I feel like Cody could make something like that.
Of course, Cody can make something. He's been working at Boston Pizza for a long time.
Cody and Neil and Jason, obviously Kurt and Tony. Like, we've gotten to know quite a few.
Crew at the BPs across the city, man. I agree.
Tara
with that.
has brought all of us together. And it's awesome.
Good job, Tara. Congratulations, you've done it.
Rob in St. Albert, I believe.
I thought you were talking about St. Albert Rob. Remember him on the radio back in the day?
Yeah, no, different.
Yeah, different. Yeah,
but congrats, Tara. Like, she's done it. She brings
everybody's connecting together. So make plans. Wednesday we will be at the Capilano Boston
checking
Pizza.
the weather.
No. Cass just texted me. Said he's not gonna be able to do two guys tomorrow. He'll be back on Thursday.
You need me?
Yeah, we might need you actually. We might need you because you, me, and Gager can do a 3-man right here.
That'd be fun.
Which would be a fun conversation.
Yeah.
So, make plans for it. I totally forgot.
Let's do it.
Cass was all right. So we've got lots to get to. We were just talking about Lock Shop though, and Huss had this great quote on Lock Shop today where he said, "I'm not one that regularly frequents what you would term regular grocery stores." So then we were talking, and with a family, my grocery store thing is now what we do nowadays is we order a lot of groceries online.
Okay, yeah.
So Tam will just hop on the app and order like a pretty significant order of groceries. For the longest time, from about pre-pandemic, and then definitely in the pandemic, and then post-pandemic, I would just stop. Basically, before we started EST. Because I wasn't doing like 11 to 1 as well.
Yeah.
I'd usually go hit the grocery store up, and I like going to get groceries. I try to power shop and like set new time records and stuff. If you see me at a grocery store, usually if you see me out in public, talk to me. But if you see me at a grocery store, just get the hell out of my way. Because I'm trying to like set records for things.
That's impressive.
But Huss says he never really goes. He said it was 7 months the last time he was at a Safeway.
Wow.
We usually do bigger shops as a family.
Yeah.
But you said you're almost like a guy on vacation who pops into a grocery store every couple of days to just get what he needs for the next 2 days.
Basically.
Really?
There's a grocery store.
That's interesting to me.
The city market's right across the street from my place.
Yeah.
And I know it's not like it has everything you need. It's different. But I've found the deals. And I know what I need, but then if I need to, I'll go to Safeway on my way home from here usually.
Oh, okay.
If I need to get
So is that city market, is it more expensive? Is it like
some stuff?
Okay.
Some stuff. You're paying for the convenience. However, good deli, good bakery. I've figured it out. I'm coming up on 2 years at my place. Owanik has figured it out, obviously, too. But I'm the opposite of Huss, where I do frequent the grocery store often, like every second day. Or if I don't have anything for dinner, I just go, I'll go across the street and find something. And you find stuff literally like $5-6 for your dinner.
Yeah.
$7.
Yeah. I mean, it's cheap to make your own dinners.
Yeah. And like, I don't cook. You know what I mean? I very rarely cook. So for me, it's just quick, something good, something somewhat healthy. And it has that. and I could just pop over there. It takes me 2 minutes.
So that's nice then.
Yeah, so I'm the opposite of us. But when you said that quote about him,
I'm not a guy who would regularly frequent your typical grocery store.
I was just like, that's us.
He's a beauty.
He is a beauty. He's great.
The troll is in it, says, I like a Sunday morning AM for grocery shopping. Almost no one there. Yeah, I mean, if you're up about or if you have kids or something, it's good to hit grocery stores early.
So do you take the whole family for the big ones?
No, man, I'm in and out. I like crush a full cart and I'm out of there.
Because my dad would do the shops. And I think it was like once every 2 weeks. And it would be a big one.
Tammy hates it, but I love it.
I can't stand it.
Yeah. But now she's doing most of the ordering online. And it's great. All the groceries just show straight up.
They put them in a box or
they're in boxes and they're just sitting on the stoop.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's very futuristic.
But like the porch pirate thing is what I'd always be afraid of.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are hungry who are just sitting outside my house being like, oh, it's grocery day. So.
Well, somebody posted a video of their colleague, or no, not colleague, friend. Someone snagged her Amazon package and she has like the doorbell with the ring with the camera.
That is such a thing.
I hate
like,
that.
You think the porch pirates are like legacy members of the family of real pirates from back in the day, but this is how they have to operate in 2025?
That would be something.
I think that's really how it is.
No, I just think they're assholes.
Okay, that could be it too.
Yeah. That's such a greasy thing to do.
Petter's Pancakes over in the chat says, Instacart for Costco is worth every penny. Deliver right to the door. No traffic, no lineups, no parking lot fiascos. I've never heard of Instacart.
That's a newer. Oh, right. Oh, I see what you did there. Lay it on the line.
That stupid Instacart commercial, man.
Oh, no.
And the guy who, how does he know she's getting a cantaloupe?
Great question.
How did he know that she was getting a cantaloupe?
All right.
Every time I watched that commercial, I was like, how does he know this? He's sensing it? Maybe he told her before, but yeah. Kevin says, I'm with Tommy. If I shop and prep for the week, then something always happens and half the groceries go to waste. It's easier to be a dynamic buying a day or two at a time.
But
see, and I don't have the time to go every couple of days. You know, like it's usually pretty busy. So it's like I prefer like once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But every time you go to pay for your groceries, you got to close your eyes and go like this.
It's painful. Yeah.
It's like $320.
But
you know a good cheap place if you're just getting like generic stuff, like just like a regular box. Walmart for groceries is insanely cheap.
Yep.
It really is. I don't really love going to Walmart, but I'll go get groceries there and I'll ring it through the odd time if I'm like in that area. And it is significantly cheaper than the other places I usually go.
Anyway. This is a little bit more on the other side of things, but I just went there even though Belzy had been like talking about this place forever. That Freezin' Bros that's on.
My wife loves Freezin' Bros.
I had a smash burger there one afternoon. I was just starving and I wanted to go to Firehouse. Yeah, because Furby has Firehouse.
Yeah,
right?
Firehouse subs. Yeah,
yeah, and it wasn't open yet on 107th and 142nd at the traffic circle. Yeah. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll just grab something at the deli at Freezin' Bros. I was like, whoa, what is this? Yeah. Phenomenal.
You can go sit there and have breakfast and stuff.
Yeah, I sat there and had my lunch, and then I came back here for the show.
I've never been in one.
It was really good. Delicious.
This is a good one. Baggio's in. It says, Tommy, my dad would go to Spinelli's for the family grocery shopping.
Of course.
And my mom to Safeway. He would come back. This is 30 years ago. He goes $500 less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, actually, my uncle was telling a funny story. Like, you talk about Spinelli's, Italian Center. Obviously, a lot of Italians just call it Spinelli's. My grandma would be the old Italian lady that would bud the line. She would take a ticket, but then just like hail one of the deli guys over and just like rattle off her order. Yeah. And they all do it.
Wheel.
And then you corner those guys. They're like, "Oh, ma'am, you got to wait in line." No, I want this. And then he's fine, just to get her out of here. My grandma did that.
She did. You cut up the. Didn't we get some paninos from Italian Center on Friday? Did you guys get into those pretty good?
I cut them up because somebody had one. I wasn't sure, but I think I looked at you and you're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I know it doesn't matter. Well, I was joking this morning. I was just like, Eric and I didn't get any.
What?
Yeah, not one.
Oh, yeah. I cut it into like 6 pieces. Yeah. And then guys.
Well, the boys love them. I mean,
they're so good.
If you had not had an Italian Center panino, I mean, what are we even doing in this town? It's You gotta go get one of those. Anyway, here's an ultimate transition for you. Let's go from our grocery lists to a shopping list for the Oilers.
Oh,
that's a good one, isn't it?
That's a good one.
I think that's a pretty good one.
Well done.
Here's the. We'll get to your Popeyes headlines. Well, you know what? Let's start. Let's get to the Popeyes headlines right now. Let me just let me make the quick switch here. Popeyes headlines. Of course, our headlines on every oil stream brought to you by our partners over at Popeyes, where right now they've got that great deal on chicken wraps, the regular chicken wrap, the spicy chicken wrap, or the blackened chicken wrap. That is the new summer snack they're rolling out right now. You can order online right on their website or swing on by and pick it up. I'm looking at the blackened one, and it just looks delicious. Yeah. Even on a picture on their website, it looks delicious. And I know, promo pictures and stuff, it's not going to look like that, but that looks really good. Outside of the tomato, I'd go no tomato on it, but it does look pretty good. You can get it at all of your Popeyes locations. I'm sure Furby, one of the owners of all the Popeyes, hoping he's recovered after the loss because he's hardcore.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you see so much Popeye stuff around on Oilers stuff, because he just loves the team.
Oh, I know.
He's just like, you even see Firehouse. They own Firehouse, and you see Firehouse popping up.
Yes.
And a bunch of oil stuff as well.
Well, Furby was a Copper Jacket.
Oh, yeah. He's as committed to the team as you can possibly be.
Yep.
All right. I think it was Pagnotta, who's on Hello Hockey every Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying that John Gibson would waive his no trade. He's got 10-team no trade list.
Okay.
So he's saying he would come to Edmonton if they are interested in him. I thought Drager made an interesting point this morning. The Oilers probably could have had John Gibson at any time over the last 5 years.
Yes.
Right? If they haven't liked him enough to trade for him yet, why all of a sudden would they do it now? What do you think about that theory?
I think it's a rational theory, because I know that's the name. We have him on the side scroll there too. Or the side
on the graphics, yeah.
Yep, on the graphic. It's a name that's popped up. Obviously, Lucas Dostal is the goalie of the future for the Ducks. I like Dostal too. The price point, it's feasible. But the bottom line, Dusty, with John Gibson is his game isn't that good, and he doesn't stay healthy. He doesn't finish. How many times does he leave a game in the third period because the team's losing and he's hurt? Like, that's a big time problem. He hasn't been on a good team since like 2018 or 2019.
I think it was Noodles who had those numbers. Who's like he left like 36 games over 3 years, whether it was being pulled or injured or something like that.
And I think his name is one that there has been infatuation with for some time. But listen, if you got John Gibson, do I think he would be an upgrade over Calvin Pickard? Maybe. Like, I think he's declined to the point where it's just like he's just a name, you know what I mean? So I don't find him to be as enticing as some might. The goalie options aren't great.
What? No, they're not. I see somebody else saying Nuge and a pick for Demko.
You got
okay.
Donnie and Dally were talking about that last week. They said it to me. I'm like, you got to remember, Nugent Hopkins has a no move.
Okay, but also Demko's a Band-Aid.
Exactly.
Like, John Gibson thinks Demko is durable. You can't trade Ryan Nugent Hopkins for a Band-Aid between the pipes, who is like one additional knee injury away from maybe never playing hockey again.
And this injury, it's so obscure. They found like 2 soccer players, footballers in Europe who had the same thing. And they had to consult with those guys, the process they went through. And the way it's described is like not John Gibson, Thatcher Demko could have like 5 good days of practice and maybe a game or 2 in there. And then all of a sudden the knee goes and he's on the shelf for like 2 weeks. That's risky, super, super risky. So I would not give up Ryan Nugent Hopkins for Thatcher Demko. That's just me. I really don't think the goaltending options are great.
No, they're not. They're horrible.
Yeah.
And what's this? I see Jake Allen today.
That to me is a joke.
What's going on? What's going on with Jake Allen?
Yeah, he's going to be unrestricted.
No, but I thought I saw something just moved with him.
Really?
Did something just happen with Jake Allen? I was doing lock shop, and then I was looking at the text line, or
I don't know. I had TSN up here. I haven't seen anything.
I thought somebody said something was going on with Jake Allen.
Again, like not an upgrade. You just had. I like the idea of improving the goaltending. I don't like the idea of giving up on Stu Skinner. So I think, and Reed even said it. Remember, Reed slid in here after the press conference, and he goes, "It's if you want to upgrade, you probably want to upgrade on your backup goalie," and that's Pickard. And I know it's not what a lot of Oiler fans want to hear, but like, do you think Pickard's going to win 20 games again next year?
Probably not.
Yeah,
but depends how much he plays.
right.
I guess. I don't know. I just started a poll question. And let's see what the people say. Should the Oilers trade for Gibson? 91% of people say no. That kind of surprises me. Not that I'm on the other side of it. I'm with you. But it kind of surprises me a bit with how hot and horny people are for a different look between the pipes, that like 90% of people would say, no, Gibson's not the guy. Do you think you could get Gibson, though, for like Arvidsson and have them retain a little bit so it's almost a wash?
Yeah, maybe. Well,
I mean, if
that
you probably have to add something, I think.
you don't have any picks.
But yeah, I know.
This draft
I don't know. I was just thinking, if you're going to move Arvidsson out, it'd be nice to get something somewhere in these two areas they said they wanted to upgrade, which is goaltending and forward, right? It'd probably be a forward, but
yeah. I have a couple texts I just want to read off. It is interesting. I am kind of surprised to see some of in general, some of the shifting of perspective on Gibson, because, and Dusty, you saw it on the morning show all season long. We saw it on pre and post all season long. We saw it here on Oil Street. People would always bring up his name, right? That was kind of like the guy
for years.
So it's interesting to see how it's kind of swayed a little bit. This text says, say what you want about Gibson. Yes, he has injury woes, but he has played behind a crap team. Given a new opportunity, new life, he could perform. Just ask Seth Jones. This is a different position, but it is interesting to see that opinion. Like that person believes that Gibson could be the solution or part of the solution. Jake from Ontario texted in, said, everyone's saying Gibson is the Oilers' best chance. Don't seek to realize Gibson is not essentially the backup to Dostal. The 2 seasons before this season, he was an .888 and .899 save percentage. I would not put my faith in him moving the needle. He's also a career .910, while Stu is a career .906. So some numbers to chew on there. And then Troll says, I'd like to see them poach Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen from Buffalo. I like Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, and the name's fun to say.
Yeah, I would love to be. That has Tales of the North written all over it.
You could come up
Ukko-Pekka, like it's just Ukko. Yes, like there's a song there too.
Yeah,
I just got this feeling. Is that the song? Deep inside of, and then they go Ukko-Chaka.
Oh yeah,
is that the? I think that's yeah, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Ukko-Pekka, and then I just got.
Yes,
is that not it?
That's the one. That's the one from
song.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Instead of
I don't even know what band that is, but yeah, it was from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. I know which one. That would be great. I'm also excited about the new Nasty Bash song you're coming up with.
Yeah.
And when you played it today, I was like, oh, good memories.
So I know. I'm trying to think if I write it. I guess I have to write it after the bash to see what happens. But I like the one that I'm thinking of could work even. I could write it pre-bash. But I think I'll probably save it for after the bash and let's see what happens. Nasty Bash will be going down August 8th at the St. Albert Rugby Club. Chat with Maddie for details to get on the list. Matt at EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Now you got the guys singing that song.
That's it, right?
That's the one. Yeah.
Good. So who sings that? I just got this feeling.
Galaxy song. It's got to be from the 70s. Hooked on a Feeling by Blue Suede.
Is it Blue Suede?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's the one.
Huh. I thought it was a more popular band, but I guess it was wrong.
1974.
Jeez, that's 7 years older than me.
Yeah.
Well, it was a banger, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I like that. I like it. Big Uke says I should write the song pre-bash with predictions and see how many come true.
You could do an AI one.
I could bang out an AI prediction one, and then the other one could be a little bit more of a banger after. All right, so John Gibson says he would come to Edmonton, but 85% of people don't want him anywhere near Edmonton. So there's that. What do you think of this Zegras trade? And what happened to Zegras, man?
He's faded. A lot of flash. I don't know. It seems like and swagger maybe, and it rubbed people the wrong way. And he also looks like a guy that I don't know. He still looks like scrawny and didn't adapt his style. Good player on a bad team and scores a few flashy goals and gets the spotlight, and then his game doesn't continue to develop while the rest of the team does. Maybe that's part of it, but I don't know. I think I don't think he's going to be a superstar.
Yeah, no, I thought when he first burst on the scene, I was like, oh, this guy's got a ton of potential.
Yep.
Now what I think about, you used to think about like the flashy goals and all the sweet moves, and now all I think about is that gif when Ryan Getzlaf is standing next to him and Jamie Drysdale. Him and Drysdale hit each other in the nuts with their sticks before they're going out on the ice for the game, and they just slow pants to Getzlaf, and he's just like, I remember, I've seen it. Somebody's like, the moment Ryan Getzlaf knew he should retire, and Zegras and Drysdale are like hitting each other, and they're nuts.
Each other.
Yeah, and he's just like, Getzlaf, like this balding old man's like,
yeah.
I guess it's time.
That maybe sums it up, I guess.
Yeah. So that move going down as well. Of course, it is draft week, and that's I guess what we dive into here is. Do you think they get any business done this week?
I think they'll try to.
But do you think everybody's going to try to, but do you think they actually get something done?
What did you have it at? Like over under 1.5?
1.5 trades. Like,
yeah, I was going to take the under.
I would take the under 100% too.
Yeah.
Should have said the number actually at 0.5.
Yeah, but there were people responding with the over, weren't there? If I'm remembering correctly. I take the under. Maybe one. I don't know. It's gotten really quiet.
Of the things that they need to accomplish or want to / need to accomplish, what is the most likely thing to get done during draft week? Is it pawning Arvidsson off somewhere?
Yeah.
Is it making an Evander Kane trade?
One of those two.
Bouchard deal's not going to get done here. Is it a trade for a goalie maybe?
See, I don't feel like there's going to be an urgency to do something at goalie. I thought it was interesting when Bowman said forwards and goalie were the areas he was looking to upgrade. Forwards, I would understand. Goalie, I also get, but I don't know if it's that pressing. And Shoggy actually made a good point. He said it could be something that happens during the season.
Like you just run it back with Skinner and Pickard again, and then.
And listen, I know there's a lot of fans out there that'll be like, "That can't happen." But your team just went to the Cup final with those two twice. Did they win? No, I know. But can they carry the load for a chunk of the year? Yeah. So that part of me is like, well, do you really need a goalie right now? Or can you wait and get one, see what happens? Because, again, I'll reiterate for like the 5th time this show, goalie market sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, so to me, there's two ways to look at the whole waiting for a goalie thing. And the one part of it is, okay, you can wait. And if the other two guys are just okay, and you're like, okay, well, we definitely need an upgrade here before deadline, then you have to deliver. Mm-hmm. Like you can't sit there and be like, oh, maybe we can get this guy, maybe we can get this guy. No, if the plan is, if these guys aren't, then you're going to have to go out and pay the price and get a goalie before the deadline, right? It's not one of those things where, oh, they came up short on goalie again and they're going to run with Skinner and Pickard. Like if you're going to get a goalie and you leave it up to the deadline, there's no being outbid by the guy, like by somebody for the guy you want.
Right.
You can't, there's no room for error.
You got to nail it.
So there's that. Then the other side of it is Skinner takes a step forward in consistency next year, and you don't need to go get somebody at the deadline if he's playing very well, which would still be risky going into the playoffs. I get it. I understand all that. That's why I'd like to see this taken care of now. Whether it's somebody's with Skinner or it's somebody instead of Skinner, I'd like to see it taken care of in the next 12 days. But I don't think that'll be the case.
Yeah. That's the other thing, too, is like, can 27-year-old Stu Skinner cement himself as a more consistent goalie? Year number 4. I would have hope and faith that he could. I think it's totally possible. I don't think a lot of people think it the same way I do, though, judging by what we get for feedback.
All right, well, what say you? 780-218-9999. Regardless of who the goalie is it a move you have to make in the next 2 weeks? Or is it a move that you feel like you can wait on until the last possible moment prior to the deadline next year? Like, do you go into next year and say, does somebody shake loose on waivers that you think might be a bit of a upgrade on, let's say, Pickard or something like that? Like, I think you're playing with a little bit of fire and risking it a bit if you wait on it. Bronco Nick is in and says, proud girl dad moment here. My daughter got out of her social studies final and then texted me in all caps that Trevor Zegras got traded. I'm weeping with joy. So proud. That's nice. Like, she finishes school and then she's just like, Dad, Zegras has been traded.
We got to talk about this. Well done. She probably did good on the test, too.
Hopefully.
I would think so. Bronco Nick, I think, he's a smart guy, and I think he would emphasize education and being learned to his offspring. That's my assumption.
780-218-9999. I'm going to end this poll. We left it up for 12 minutes. It's overwhelmingly in favor of not John Gibson. 82% to 18 no in should the Oilers trade for John Gibson. So that poll has come and gone. But lots of good comments over in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. That'd be greatly appreciated. And if you want to swing on by and say hi and hang out on Wednesday, we'll be doing an oil stream live from Capilano Boston Pizza. So pop on by and see Tommy and I for that one. Let's get to a few here. Lots of really good thoughts here, guys. Keep them, guys and gals, keep them coming in. Scott Thompson says you can absolutely start next season with 74-30. Keep the powder dry and see what could happen with the goalie market. Right, that's one way to look at it. Atif over there, Wheel says so. One goes into the Stanley Cup final 3 years in a row, and 2 goalies from the Edmonton Oilers have been in the Stanley Cup. I don't know what he's talking about there, Atif. Sorry, man.
Atif, you drinking already?
Probably.
Somebody asked for the list of goalies. Greg and Veg.
You want to bring it up? You can bring it up. We read it last week. If you're eating lunch, you might not want to listen for the next little bit because the list of UFA goalies will make you puke.
Yeah.
Cade Riley says you won't get a goalie in free agency. You've got to trade with a team for someone decent. Elmo is in. Oh, hi, I'm Elmo. If they did, I don't think that was a good Elmo. I used to be able to do a good Elmo when my kids were littler.
That's a tricky one.
But not anymore. If they do grab a goalie, they should do it in the offseason. In-season additions of goalies often don't work well, with Rolison being an exception. Jason and Leduc with an interesting point. The last time we had this issue and the goalie market was not great, we settled for Jack Campbell. You can't just grab the best of a worse group and hope it works out. Wait for the right one. Smitty the Welder says the Oilers aren't in an if place right now. That's what I'm talking about. Like, if you get through, like, you need to probably address this, and I think you probably have to address it in the next couple of weeks. Ryan says the Edmonton fan base has to stop eating goalies alive. That's got to be hard mentally. Crep13 says the other thing to consider is the Oilers don't really have the assets to trade to bring in a goalie who would be much better than Skinner. Justin of Balgoni says, I really want the Oilers to take a swing at Swayman.
They Pegs talked about that on Hello Hockey this past weekend. Great show if you haven't checked it out, by the way. And he said they sniffed around earlier in the year, and there was nothing that they could make work.
Sorry, on who? What was that on?
On Swayman.
Oh, on Swayman, yeah.
Yeah.
The Oilers sniffed around?
Yes.
And there was nothing they could make
They
work.
couldn't make it work.
Interesting development, I see.
On Hello Hockey, you can catch that clip when Dave Pagnotta came on early in the show, 5 minutes in. Do you want that list?
Yes.
Just as a refresher,
Yeah.
we're probably going to be hearing these names quite a bit as this goalie
As
discussion
long as it's only
continues.
for the next 2 weeks.
I hope so. I hope you're right. Ville Husso, who somehow had a $4.75 million contract. Jake Allen, who's 34. Husso's 30. Vitek Vanecek at 29. Alexander Georgiev, who's just a
They can't go to
don't
him.
even
No.
think about it. Anton Forsberg, who they had a few years ago and lost on the waiver wire. Marc-Andre Fleury is retiring. Dan Vladar, Ilya Samsonov, James Reimer, David Riddick, and there's one more. Alex Lyon. Excuse me. Alex Lyon's already 32 years old, by the way.
Who was the guy right bless you, Tommy.
Thank you.
Who was the guy right above Alex Lyon?
It was David Riddick.
No, not Big Save Dave. Was there another one? There's another
James Reimer.
Oh, yeah, Reimer.
He's
We
37.
always have that Reimer conversation, but yeah, that's not. So this is what we're saying. This is why. Okay, so do any of those guys make the Edmonton Oilers the Stanley Cup favorite? Let's just approach it like that. The answer is no.
Probably not.
I don't think so. Oh, you got lots of sneezes.
Sorry, I
My
apologize.
record's 17. What are you at, 3 right now?
3. Hopefully that's the last one.
Dave texts in. So I guess what we're saying, the goaltending is not being fixed via unrestricted free agency.
Probably not.
Is that an unfair statement?
No, that's a fair
It's
statement.
a fair statement.
Yeah. Logical.
So if it's not going to be fixed there, then it has to be fixed via trade or Koskinen style deal from Europe.
Oh,
But if it's not going to be fixed there, it's going to have to be fixed via trade. And I think the best chance to get this thing fixed via trade is in the next 2 weeks when trades happen.
well, you do have to. I don't know if you remember this. Remember we were talking about like the return of Evander Kane, and like best case scenario was he comes back for the playoffs, scores a few goals, pumps up his value on the market, and then they ship him out in the offseason. He did that. That was a good thing. And with this looming Frederick deal and him taking the mantle as the muscle on the team, if you will, I think Kane has managed to elevate himself into a bit of an asset. So you could that's where your 2 week, 12-day window thing makes sense. It could be an Arvidsson deal. It could be a Kane deal. If you can try to swing them for a goalie.
Yeah.
Well, you create a hole at forward, but you're going to need to get Matt Savoy in there.
Yeah, he's on the team next year, right?
I think so. He was an all-star in Bakersfield.
Yeah. As a rookie.
Good soldier, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he makes a team. I like the idea of him more than that David Tomasek. Listen, I should stop cracking on David Tomasek.
You really hate David Tomasek.
I don't hate David Tomasek. What I hate is the principle of going and dipping into Europe, giving a guy guaranteed money, and he's done diddly squat as an NHLer. That, to me, I just don't believe in that philosophy. So that's where that comes from. And if David Tomasek comes in and has a great season, kudos to the Oilers and their scouting staff. If he doesn't, which I feel like is probably the likelier scenario, just be like, guys, you're not smarter than everybody. Right? Like, so it's not, I don't like the player. It's like, I hate the game.
Yeah.
Now I have the sniffles. I apologize.
That's okay, buddy. I hope you're okay. Get well soon. We want you to get well.
Thank you.
So we'll
I
see
am
if they
feeling
pull the
better
trigger
now.
on a deal. But I think the change in net has to come via a trade. And I'm not saying it has to involve Skinner, but
No, I'd like to keep Skinner.
I'll ask this question. Dazzler texts in and says, "What about goaltending coaching? We've seen goalies excel with different coaching at times.
Yeah, I mean,
And Schwartz has had a
He's been here a
pretty
long time.
long run here.
yeah. I like Schwartz.
They
He's my
obviously
friend.
like him.
I hope he has a job. If it's here, awesome. If it's somewhere else, awesome. Maybe they look to move on. I don't know. I haven't really dived into that.
Tommy, can you bring up the list of UFA goalies next year? So throw 2026 into
Okay.
that bad boy because Greg and Vegas saying, but which goalies are available next summer that could be traded for a rental maybe, like pre-deadline? So let's try to look that list up.
So contract focus for 26, 27. And we want goalie. I'm figuring out puck.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they'll have
It's
the list.
different.
So yeah, it'll be 2027 UFAs goalie.
Switch it to.
Things can change for contracts for some of these guys, but it's an interesting look ahead. If they want to sit and wait, if they want to sit and wait, then yeah, maybe we should take a look at that. So you can get to that.
Okay, let me figure
you
that
find that. Smitty the Welder says, I think people were asking about Kane. The Kane conversation is interesting because Drager said this morning on our show that both the Oilers and Kane's agent were sniffing around for possible interest prior to the deadline.
Yes.
And nothing really of significance popped up, both via Kane's agent or the Oilers on Evander Kane. So we'll have to see what happens with that one.
Pagnotta said, and then I think Friedman also reported, but Peg said it on Hello Hockey again. That's why I say watch the show or listen to it.
Every Saturday morning.
Yeah. Around the deadline that there was something that came up for Kane deal-wise, but it was a team on his no-trade list. Okay. 10 goaltenders.
Okay.
That are UFAs for 26, 27. So this is Smitty the Welder's suggestion?
No, Greg and Veg.
Greg and Veg. Okay. You got Gibson.
Yeah.
Binnington. Grubauer, forget about it. Merzlikins, I think that ship sailed too. Kemper will be 36 then. Montembeault. Varlamov. Kochetkov. And Jonas Johansson and Casey DeSmith. That's a better list than the one for this year.
It's a better list than the one this year. But you have to see. Give me the list again, and let's just see if their teams will be competitive and they'll want to keep them.
Okay. Gibson.
Okay, well, whatever.
Binnington. Grubauer.
Binnington. I think we need the 26 list because Gibson has
26,
Gibson has 2 years left though.
Contract season focus 26, 27. So then would I go 27, 28?
No, I don't think so because Gibson has this year and one more year. So that sounds. Oh yeah, no,
Yeah, see,
I don't know if that's
year 8 or it would be year 8 of 8. Of his
so that,
contract.
but they have a contract for 26, 27. We need the guys who are there last year.
28.
No, 25, 26. I think.
Is
Right,
this-
because then that would be that's the final year of their contract would be 25, 26.
Oh, okay,
I think
here.
that's giving us the final year 26, 27.
Okay.
Because Gibson is
Okay.
I just know I know
I'm-
Gibson's got 2 years left, so I was like, wait a second, he's not a UFA.
Okay, Carey Price, forget about it. Bobrovsky, he's going to be 37. Markstrom, 30. He's 35 right now. Demko, forget about it. Mrazek. Philip Gustafson. Do you have time for that? Out of Mini?
He's had really good stretches.
Yeah. Laurent Brossois. No, been there, done that. That Fedotov out of Philly. I don't think that's really worked. Anderson. Stu. Talbs. Stolars. All former Oiler goalies. Nedeljkovic. Connor Ingram. That's an intriguing. I think that's a sneak. If he stays healthy, he can be good because he had some good stretches with Utah and with Arizona the year prior.
I say just screw it. You go to Bob and you'd be like, we'll keep giving you 10 mil, but you're coming to this side. You're coming to this side of the battle.
Oh boy.
That would be kind of funny.
Jonathan Quick, Scott Wedgwood, Calvin Pickard, Eric Comrie, Jet Graves, Marcus Hogeberg, and Devin Cooley. And they also have Rich Winter listed as Richie Winter. Interesting.
Things you learn.
Oh.
Gustafson's interesting.
That one, yeah. That one I would be like,
And
what about not Nedeljkovic? He's kind of up and down, hey? He had promise and then kind of.
so Gustafson has a career 913. It's 914 each of the last 2 years. Was an 899 and then a 931 the year before.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota has their goalie of the future.
in
Wallstead anyway.
Yeah.
I might have time for something like that. Who else is in net right now in Mini? You got
Well, it was Fleury.
Oh yeah, Fleury's gone.
Yeah.
So they would have Wallstead and
They had was it a Swedish kid that got some games?
was that not Wallstead? He's a Swedish kid.
Oh, right.
You must be thinking Wallstead. Another guy?
I feel like there was some guy that we'd never heard of, the Minnesota Wild. Or maybe I think of a different team. And I think they played against Edmonton. I'm like, who's this guy? Or was that San Jose? I'll look it up, but
It might have been the Sharks.
yeah, because the Sharks, Georgiev's not the answer, obviously. Yeah, it wasn't Wallstead. Sorry. And the Oilers, for those that are going to be like, the Oilers should have just drafted Wallstead. They wanted,
They screwed up.
They wanted what's his name, the former Oil King.
Kosa.
Kosa goes to Detroit like 2 or 3 picks before Edmonton, and then apparently Wallstead wasn't to their liking. Something wasn't for them, turned them off about him.
Because they were going to pick 20th, then they traded down to.
Yeah,
And Minnesota traded up and took Wallstead.
Remember that?
I remember being like, I can't believe Wallstead's still sitting there at 20. And I was like, this is perfect. He's fallen into the Oilers' lap. And then they traded out of the spot, and Minnesota traded in and took him. And I was like, what the hell?
There was something there. I can't remember if it was the interview or their impression of him. Something didn't sit well with them about him. So they did not take him. And then, they traded down.
Xavier Bourgault, one of 6 players from that first round yet to play in the National Hockey League. Tyler Boucher was drafted by Ottawa. Chaz Lucius by Winnipeg.
Right.
Then Bourgault.
Yeah.
Carson Lambos. I watched him play when he was younger. He was good. And then Chase Stillman.
I just got an update on just like things with the team. Yes, there's stuff happening, like discussions, but nothing imminent right now.
So nothing close now.
But yeah, they're working.
At the beginning of draft week.
They're working it, but nothing's imminent.
Well, that'll bring us to the numbers game here for Play Alberta. We've got 5 EST specials already loaded over at Play Alberta. They are great partners. We are very early in our relationship with them, but they've been awesome to work with. And they absolutely love what we and, not just we, but you, all of you who are listening and watching and playing these wagers, they're very happy with it. So that's good. We've got 5 bets already up over on our page today at playalberta.ca. Or if you download the app, you will see that as well. Early bird bet of the day is up. Lions plus 6.5 points. This week, Dusty's play of the day, Aaron Judge RBI. Jay's on the Elks plus 9.5 at plus 100 right now. And then the lock shot partner parlay today, a little triple play in the MLB. Yankees, Padres, Mariners, all to win on the money line plus 420. And the grandest parlay's up as well. It's a massive MLB parlay that's almost paying 40 to 1. So you can go check all of that out. The number is 3. And that is the number of picks that the Edmonton Oilers have in the draft this week. Do you think they try to move from the 3rd round up to the 2nd round, or do they don't even pop in because the draft isn't? Yeah, it's all decentralized now. So they make their 3 picks and that's it. Do you think
that could very well be what happens? But they really need to restock the cupboard. Well,
they're trying to with some of these college free agents and the European guys,
right?
Trying to get ahead of it a bit, but they have one of the worst prospect lists in the entire National Hockey.
Understandably so.
They are not the Oklahoma City Thunder, who just won a title and have 7 first-rounders in the next 3 years.
That is insane, by the way. The way you went through their lineup and all the picks. Is that not
ridiculous?
It's insane. Way to go, OKC. Yeah, at 3, do they just pick them? I think they could try to get into the 2nd round or something, or do they trade the 3rd rounder and get a later? Oh no, you're already gonna have a late 3rd rounder. I don't know. Is the draft deep this year? Is it being touted as a deep one?
I don't think so. I used to be super hardcore draft guy for a long time. And that was like pre coming to Edmonton. And then when it came to Edmonton and they sucked for so long, I was still hardcore draft guy. I know a lot of these kids because I did the Holinka. So I've seen more of these first rounders in person than I ever have before. And there's some guys further down. Let me just see. Let me bring up some of the draft rankings. Like, it's going to be tough. Do we have, like, who's got like a top 200 list?
Hockey futures?
No, those guys are dead now.
Are they?
Yeah,
sucks.
top 200 list for 2025 draft. We'll slide down to like the third round. I'll see if there's any guys. Let's see here.
I like this text by Cade Riley in the Nasty Chat as you find that. Pro hockey is not about the buddy system. It's about winning if you want to be champions. Bad players need to be moved. That statement is true, but the buddy system wins out a lot.
It does, doesn't it?
It really does.
Let me see here. I'm just looking further down. Are you thinking like in the Oilers range?
So that
we're
would
just
be
looking like yeah, where are they picking? Like around 90?
Yeah.
So then you gotta go quite a ways down the list. I like this guy, Arvid Drott. He's 25th among European skaters. I don't know how long he lasted, but I watched him twice with Sweden because they were at that event in Camrose.
Oh, the
World Junior A Challenge.
Yeah.
And I liked him. He was pretty good.
Arvid Drott.
There's also a guy
Swedish?
named Linus Funk. Oh, this is an interesting one. Melvin Novotny. He's ranked 41st. He was on some of the I was surprised he's ranked 41st. I liked that guy when I saw him play. Yeah.
The league leading up to this draft is like putting notable draft picks for each franchise. It is kind of cool to see like some pretty good players that are in the league now who were picked in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. And you're like, yeah, it's doable. I know the percentage and the probability drops quite a bit round to round when you're picked there, and you talk about players making it from there and getting into a legit NHL career. But it's also a reminder that if you have a good scouting system, identify some players other teams might not appreciate, you can find guys. Just hasn't happened here a lot.
Here's an interesting group, and this could be it depends how many Euros would go. These guys are probably all going to be third rounders, early third rounders, late seconds. But on the NHL Central Scouting, like their final ranking, on the second page of North American skaters, there's these 3 American kids who I watched twice now. This Ben Keevan kid out of the USHL, he's a good player. Like, that's a guy you could put on your third line, I think, for a long time. Mason Moe was a good player. And then at 58, this Adam Bannock was like the best player in Holinka history offensively, but he's only 5'7", little dude.
Oh.
Probably ends up playing over in Europe for a long time. But that Bannock kid was unreal. He's ranked 58th.
Like Rocco Grimaldi.
He was, man, I can't believe he's that low. Like, he was amazing at the Holinka. Like, just a little freak. But I mean, he's 5'7", but he had 59 points in 56 games in the USHL in his first year over here. Sneaky little dude.
Bannock, where is he from?
He's from the Czech.
Oh, he's a Czech.
He played in Czechia. They've got him listed as 5'7", 164, but he was the best player on the ice at the Linka. I thought, like, for that tournament. I know lots of guys, pro standards, but yeah, I mean, whatever. It's a third rounder. You hope you get somebody that you can hit on. But anyway, they're going into draft week with very limited picks, which doesn't help from the, I'd like to see them make a trade perspective. So it sucks to say this on the opening day of draft week, but I kind of have very low expectations for what happens with the Oilers this week.
It's going to be quiet, I feel like. But they're working the phones.
Surprise us, man. Like, blow something up.
Do you want to? We have a couple minutes left. I'm getting a lot of questions about those new third jerseys again.
Okay, what's
Actually, a bunch of people just around town, like walking around, like, "Hey, third jerseys. What about them?" I'm like, okay, so it's coming up again. Yes, they're gonna have new third jerseys this year coming up. They are not orange, So stop asking me if they're orange. And I say that jokingly, but they're not actually going to be orange. Vintage white, let's call it.
Vintage white.
It's just like off-white.
I think like a dirty white, like an off-white.
Yeah, like the cream kind of off-white.
Like when you peel back wallpaper after 60 years, the color underneath that.
Vintage white.
Right?
That's all I'm going to say because they're
not orange, they're vintage white.
Yeah, I've been shown them. I was sworn to secrecy. I was told, don't leak everything. And I'm like, okay, fine.
But the main color is vintage white.
It is not going to be orange. Yeah, it's vintage white. And again, it will look like nothing that they've ever worn before. And actually, it's funny talking to some people. Like, I popped into the Oilers store and having conversations with people. And apparently, like EA Sports has it for next year's NHL game, right? Because they have to put it into the game.
Yeah.
And apparently those guys are pretty chatty.
Oh, so they're getting it out there.
Yeah, and I think the aesthetic guys were talking about that too. But yeah. Tommy, can you draw a picture from memory? Yes, I could. I'm not going to, though.
Tell me what the center of it looks like, Tommy.
Different.
Okay, well, there we go. Different. I'll take that. All right, what's coming up at EST Afternoons here, Coob? What's happening, man?
Well, Oilers discussion regarding, all the rumors swirling.
Yeah, rumor
around.
mill party this week.
John Gibson. No, it's I don't know. Everything's up in the air. There's lots of discussion regarding the draft is not a third round.
Are
pick.
you buzzing from that iced coffee I got you?
I am a little bit.
You do look like you're a little bit like jittery right now, Coob.
I know. I was like,
get this man a cigarette.
But I'm going to recap the NBA Finals as well. Josh Lewenberg.
Lewenberg, nice.
He's good. Recap of week 3 of the CFL. Justin Dunk from 3 Down Nation.
Dunk in the house
as well. Inside the numbers for Play Alberta. And I think, I don't know, Hernan, he doesn't seem too spicy today, but I know him and Joaquin are going to have a fire hot show.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there we go. That's coming up. And then, of course, the Reed Wilkins show after from 3 to 6 with Iwanek in with Glue Guy on that one.
CFL 110 is fantastic. Yes. I have 2 new podcasts that I love. CFL 110 and then Dunk and Hodge and their weekly recaps.
I've never got that. What's that one called? Just like the 3 Down?
It's a 3 Down Nation guy.
Okay, I've never done that one. I love CFL 110.
CFL 110 is great. Actually, both of them are good to keep you in the loop. I love it. So Dunk is a great get. Say hi to Dunk for me.
Yeah, Dunk did color for me for 3 or 4 years on Canada West TV.
He knows his stuff.
He's a good color analyst, man. He's actually really good.
He played football.
Yeah, he was a quarterback.
Yeah.
All right, that is going to do it for the Oil Stream today. EST Afternoons is on the way, and I will be back tomorrow morning with the Nielson Show bright and early at 6 o'clock. We will talk to you then.